Hey everybody, and welcome to Unofficial Wild Ride with Steve-O. It's officially the best episode we've recorded in a while, according to Paul Brisky.
That's not the name I was expecting to come out of your mouth. They're just, oh hey Dwight. I almost instantly regretted it. This is your show though, right? Zonkeys?
I've heard good things about the beginning stages of a meth addiction. Darn it! And Rainn Wilson and I have been buddies for a very long time. Just before recording this, I never told another person that I was buddies with him. So that's very interesting. And man, I agree with Paul Brisky, the greatest episode in quite some time. So I'm just not gonna waste any time. Let's get into it. Let me see your head.
Did you see the movie?
I didn't. Was I supposed to get a link?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a link.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, your mother.
Yeah, well, fucking...
So unprofessional.
God damn it. I know
We'll
that
talk
it's
about
you
it.
and
You'll
Lil
be like,
Mayhem.
I didn't. Did you see the movie?
No.
You fucking asshole. Why did I drive to Malibu? Oh my god. Oh my god. I can use all this, by the way.
Yeah, we're rolling
Except
too.
I'm not. Except
Yeah.
I don't have a mic. That would help. God.
I was thinking about lying for a second, but I was just like, oh, I can't lie.
We-
You would think about lying, you
I
bastard.
was like, no, I can't do that.
The whole reason I came into your stupid fucking stinky ass van and drove down to meet you here in Malibu was to promote this goddamn film. You didn't even watch it.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Oh
I
my
had a
God.
link. I'm,
Vinny sent you the link, and
Yeah,
he didn't
no,
even watch it.
I didn't send you the link.
Would it have
Your
killed-
team sent the link, and
Oh, his team.
but you're
Did
not
your
very good with
team-
emails.
emails are very challenging.
It's very much for me too. Very much for me
Super
too.
challenging. So you star in the movie with Lil Ray Howard.
Almost. You're close.
Okay.
Yeah, Lil Rel
Lil Rel
Howery.
Howery.
Not Little Red Howard or whatever you said.
Darn it!
Lil Rel
Lil Rel.
Howery.
Yeah, Howery.
Yeah. Code 3 comes out September 12th. In theaters. Let me tell you about it. Okay, let me plant this. Okay, I'm going to set the scene.
Okay.
Picture a van like this. Only its purpose is to take sick people to hospitals.
An ambulance.
Very good. Very good. Me and Lil Rel Howery are ambulance drivers, EMS riders on a night from hell. It's a comedy. It's a tragedy. It's a lot of fun. It's called Code 3, September 12th at a theater near you. No, honestly, it's. I'm really proud of this movie. I feel like it's pretty rare that you get a movie that like really makes you laugh and really hits hard, and also at the same time it's about something. Like it kind of dismantles and pulls the rug out from the American healthcare system and how fucked up and broken it is. Because most of these, one of the things we wrote along with a lot of EMS. For some reason, I'm talking to you more. Than you.
It's all good. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
This is your show, though, right?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. That these we rode along with these EMS drivers, and they make practically minimum wage.
Yeah.
These are the people like we task with like saving our fucking lives.
Right.
And they're literally getting like $19 an hour.
And how about this? The second that you accept a ride from an ambulance, you're on the hook for like $5,000.
Oh yeah, or
bucks,
10
right?
grand or something like that. Yeah,
But that money's not going to the people driving the ambulance.
It's certainly not. Yeah. I don't even know if it's going to the ambulance companies or whatever. It's just going to insurance companies. But, you know, the American healthcare system is just so broken. I mean, we're the most powerful, wealthy empire in the history of the human species. And we can't just give our citizens like decent, basic healthcare.
I couldn't agree more. You know, I couldn't agree more. And if there was a way that I could have encouraged people to vote for Bernie Sanders, I would have. But according to
if only you had like a podcast or something.
yeah,
Because then you could really like talk or interview him in your van. Do you want those cords hanging on the back of your head?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
I love it like that. I saw something you said that you don't like to talk about politics, but you feel that even like the greatest candidate that the human species has to offer really wouldn't be able to make much change.
I feel that way. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I love so much about what Bernie stood for and stands for still. And,
Yeah.
But if Bernie were put into the White House, like how much change could he actually enact?
Yeah, especially in like 4 or 8 years. Like I don't think with
Right.
that short time period, you know.
And if anybody's getting bent out of shape, oh, Bernie, socialist, this and that. Like the thing that I like about him is that he wants there to be less wealth inequality.
Yeah, less
Just
wealth
that.
inequality.
I think that wealth inequality is at the root of like the biggest problems.
Listen, socialism. We live in a socialist country. We live in a socialist country. We pay a shit ton of taxes. We pay 28, 34, 40%. And guess what? The government provides education for our children. The government provides this thing called Social Security. So when we're over 65, and that has kept hundreds of thousands, millions of people out of poverty. Because back before Social Security, you go back to the turn of the century, old people were just like starving to death in their apartments and like out on the street corners. So we have Medicare, Medicaid. There are so many programs that the government provides as a social safety net for the care of its citizens. So it's just where on the dial do you want to put that? That's the conversation. It's not socialism, not socialism. It's just like right now we're here. Do we include health care? Do we up some of these social programs and pay a little bit more into the pot? Cut maybe a little military spending in order to do so. Tax the rich a little bit more. It's like... It's just adjusting that dial.
Right.
But I do think that the system is so colossally broken, especially with just having 2 parties. We need to have 10 parties. Why is there 2 parties? Why is that a law? That's not in the Constitution. No one successfully, founded a third party, but the fact that you're deadlocked with each party trying to get like 51% of, the population behind it, and they're gonna throw wrenches in the work of anyone trying to do good in Washington, D.C. So people don't try and do good in D.C. They just try and gain more power in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. With this movie addressing how
Code
broken...
3 in theaters near you on September 12th.
In addressing how the healthcare system is so broken. I love that you're like mixing like the serious side of you with the silly side of you.
Yeah.
Is that like, did you write the movie? Like, were you involved in creating a movie that combined these 2 sides of you?
Yeah. What happened was I met with this producer named Matt Smith and about this one project, and he's like, "You're not right for this project," and he goes, "But the script just came in from one of the writers that we have a deal with. And, God, you're really perfect for the lead." And he had me it was like 187 pages long, the original draft of Code 3. And it was a diamond in the rough. It was great, but it was just way too bloated and overwritten. It's written by this guy named Chris Leone, but the co-writer was an ambulance driver, EMS guy. So all the stories happened to him, all the stories in there, and they're outrageous. It's like being sent to go look at someone that's been dead in an old folks home for 12 hours. It's junkies vomiting on you. It's, shootouts with the cops at, and drug dens. It's the whole thing. All of these things happened to Patrick, the co-writer. But I was like, man, it's so funny and it's so raw. But, if we can just and if we can just ratchet up a little bit of social commentary in there, just a little bit, because all you need is just you just need 5%, you don't want to turn people off and be like, oh, I'm going to learn a lesson from this fucking movie. It's not about that. But then we trimmed it down and shaped it up and then took it out. We got some financing for it. And I'm excited to have been with it from the get-go.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. The link's in your email.
You know what?
When's the last time you checked your email?
This
is August.
This is how it works for me. Like, I get texts from people saying, 9/11, urgent. Like, there's something in your email. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. And so that's...
What is it about that? I'm the same way. I text people. Sometimes I feel like I'll text my agent and stuff, and they'll be like, "It's in your email." It's like, I don't want to. There's something.
Yeah.
Is it
You know
the
what,
way
like-
it's laid out or something, or is it how it's mingled with spam, or what? What is it?
I'm not sure, but like periodically, I will hunker down, click unread, go to the bottom, and catch up. Like,
Oh damn!
and yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And it's just the
When you're on meth or something, you're tweaking through the night or something. You catch up in your inbox.
not tweaking, but I don't doubt that initially that might help. I've heard good things about like the beginning stages of a meth addiction.
Oh yeah, like it's
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
You get a lot done.
People get a lot done, but then it just kind of turns on you. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
I think all the addictions kind of work that way. You know, it's good. It's good. It's good until it wasn't.
sure.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
It works until it stops working.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I know when I was in drinking and drug days, which are long behind me, there was a couple good years there. There was a couple
sure.
good years, and then some really
There were a couple
kind
of great years there. Yeah.
Yeah.
and some middling years, and then some bad years, and that's no fun.
There was bad, and we don't mind saying that we're all men in recovery.
That's right.
I love that, and you know, I've never told you this or any other person this because I care about like anonymity and meetings
sure.
and stuff. But Rainn and I are old recovery buddies.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
right. We have
Sick.
been in rooms together.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I remember you talking about Baha'i quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Good memory.
And you've got your like you started the Lee Day charity to help with
Yeah.
with-
Educating girls in Haiti. Yeah.
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 And I always thought that was the wonderful that you cared so much about that. Now, I Baha'i as a religion, it's very inclusive. Nobody's going to hell for what they believe.
There's
right?
no hell. There's no hell in
That's
Baha'i
good.
faith. Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, it was a faith I grew up in. Like many of us, I hit about 20 years old. I started a little later in my rebellious stage when I was about 20 into my 30s. I wanted nothing to do with God, faith, religion, morality, any of that nonsense. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it.
So you're saying you grew up in the Baha'i faith,
grew
then
up
kind of rebelled when
Yeah.
you became an adult.
Yeah, and I didn't want anything to do with Baha'i or any. I didn't even want to think about meditation or prayer or anything like that. And you know, I've told this story a lot, but you know, the short version is, you know, kind of mental health breakdown mingled with addiction issues. Kind of brought me to a place where I kind of had to search for a higher power. I had to kind of find God and kind of harness myself to some meaning. And that's when I read a lot of the world's great spiritual, you know, books. I read the Bible and the Quran and the Bhagavad Gita and stuff like that. But I eventually came back to the Baha'i faith in my 30s, and as I was getting into recovery, and it's been a beautiful journey. But yeah, Baha'is believe that all the world's religions are really actually one religion that come from one source. So
Yeah.
I like that.
Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, they're all coming from the primal source, the creative force, you know, the cosmic, you know, beauty behind everything that sends these holy teachers down every once in a while to educate humanity spiritually. And Baha'is are also followers of a new teacher who goes by the title of Baha'u'llah, and that name means the glory of God. And he was from Persia in the 19th century and wrote tons of beautiful mystical works, prayers, and writings about social change. And so as a Baha'i, I'm also a Christian. I'm also a Muslim.
I love it.
I'm also a Buddhist.
This is very reminiscent. It reminds me of the Self-Realization Fellowship.
Yep. Yeah.
Saints of all religions, we bow to you all.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that place. Do you go to their places here? And
when
there's
I was
one in
in-
Hollywood and one in
Right.
Palisades.
I've been to a bunch of them. Been to one in.
I wonder if the Palisades one survived.
It did. Not only did it survive, it's standing strong. And I like to stand very strong in the bedroom, if you know what I mean. That's why I love a little bit of help from BLUECHEW. And if you're a guy who could use a little bit of help in the bedroom, then it might be time for you to try BLUECHEW. They're delicious, chewable tablets with the same active ingredient as both Viagra and Cialis, except they only cost a fraction of the price. But for listeners of the Wild Ride podcast, you can get an entire month's supply absolutely for free. All you pay is $5 for shipping if you go to BLUECHEW.com and use the promo code STEVO. Yeah, dude. Get that help in the bedroom, survive, and stand strong by going to BLUECHEW.com and using the promo code STEVO. Now let's get back to it. And absolutely, the first thing I did was check if my beloved self-realization fellowship is there. And
I did like a 3-hour fourth step at that place.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
in the gardens.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I was
I charged admission. $50 a head. We got like 500 people there. It was great. I was just figuring out how to just make my nut, monetize.
Yeah. There was a field trip when I was in rehab to the Self-Realization Fellowship because, like, with the 12 steps, higher power, we're going to go open our minds. For all the people who are mad at religion, like, don't scare me with hell and everything. And, like, I had a lot of that. I've never appreciated the idea of a heaven which is exclusive.
Yeah.
I like inclusive. And so this opening prayer there, they got me right away.
Yeah.
Saints of, beloved God, saints of all religions, we bow to you all.
Yeah.
And they've got a shrine at the Self-Realization Fellowship to honor each and every major religion.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I'm a Baha'i. Yeah, dude.
Let's do it.
So you've am I correct that you've been like kind of all over the map where like you speak out against like entertainment carrying like political activism, but like kind of with it or kind of like
no, here's how it breaks down. I care really strongly about issues, right? I care really strongly about climate change. I care really strongly about, healthcare, environment stuff, education, and the corruption and kind of the military industrial complex of America, how we're off track. But I don't do it in a partisan way. I'm just not doing it in terms of like getting behind candidates, because I do feel at the end of the day that Democrat versus Republican, is one of the candidates going to be ultimately a little bit better for our country than the other? Yeah, of course, but that's not the main conversation. We're just going to be going back and forth for, another 1,000 years of like, no, I like this guy. No, it's going bad. Oh, the economy's bad. No, I like this guy. And we have to really change the system. We have to change the whole system. So it's not flooded with money. It's not flooded with corruption, that we have lots of candidates to choose from, and that we're not going to tolerate candidates that are in it for power, wealth, glory, and prestige, and are going to actually be, servants to the electorate. They're there to do what's best for America. But we have to shift our thinking around just this candidate versus this candidate, and we just get locked into that.
I think that there's also the point that, by definition, a politician's job is to get elected. And in order to get elected, you've got to, at least promise to give the people what they want. And what the people want is not what's best for the country's future. So that, right, in that is sort of a gridlock that's never going to progress.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I think most people want what's best for the country's future. It's just kind of like, how do we get there? Like immigration, right? So there's a lot of talk about immigration right now. On the political right, they're kind of like, let's vilify immigrants and lock them up and build a wall and, pull families apart. And the left can kind of be a little laissez-faire about it, but want to fix immigration nonetheless. These are general tendencies, but it's like everyone needs to agree, like immigration is kind of broken. We want people here legally, not illegally. We can't just have open borders and abolish ICE. Like, are you crazy? We
Right.
just have 50,000 people a day pouring into the United States. And then after 10 years, like, how are we going to have a functional government? How's that going to work? So, we have to fix the system. It's like, how do we go about that? And we can find a reasonable path to doing that. I really feel like we can. But because the political system is so supercharged with like, we need to get elected. And not only that, I need to build up my war chest to get elected again. And I've got like the primaries where I have to be either ultra right or ultra left in order to get elected. But then I need to come center a little bit once I am elected, but not too center, because I still got to be raising money every single day. You talk to politicians, they're like, how often are you raising money? Every day. Every day I'm on the phone. I'm hitting up donors. I'm sending out emails. I'm making messages. I'm sending out like cameo style videos and stuff like that. It's a fucking madhouse. And like, we can sit down and be reasonable and figure out the immigration issue. We really can do that. I do believe that most people would be in favor of that. Yeah, there's going to be a couple of assholes who are kind of like, kill them all,
Right.
But I don't think that's the majority of people.
Right. I think that we should probably get out of the weeds on the politics stuff, maybe. I want to ask.
Well, how are you doing on your issues around animal rights and veganism?
I'm back on seafood. I've always gone back and forth between vegan and pescatarian.
Okay.
Now, why go back and forth? Just because you miss eating fish?
There's been different reasons, like all the mock fake chicken.
Yeah.
It's just not food. It's not food, and I feel like
it's hard to get protein as a vegan. I did it 9 months as a vegan. I was pathetic vegan.
But
it's hard to figure out meal planning. You got to be kind of rich to do it. You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to get your protein? And you got to cook a lot and source stuff.
Right.
It's tricky.
But as far as the animal activism goes, you'll remember I was in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, you chained yourself to like a billboard or something.
Yeah, well, no, like that came
a radio
later.
tower.
That came later. I climbed up a 150-foot tall crane with an inflatable killer whale that said "SeaWorld sucks" and started blowing up explosive fireworks. Like big fireworks.
And you almost lit the Hollywood Hills on fire.
Yeah, like and there were 80 firefighters, 18 cops, like 10 fire
and did you
trucks.
go in the slammer from that?
I was arrested. I was sentenced to 30 days in jail, but got off with a cool 8 hours.
You spent 8 hours.
It was more of a financial blow than like an incarceration situation.
Okay.
And looking back on it, it's crazy because after that, like, it did get so much publicity, and people would come to me and say, "Oh man, I really respect what you did to, protest SeaWorld." And I would always feel like, really, I was just like kind of just being an attention whore, I guess there was a little twist of, this, but the overall, I'm ashamed of having just wasted valuable resources of first responders. Like I'm just not proud of that. And the whole like SeaWorld sucks. I'm angry at this. Like, I've really, as I've evolved, moved away from negative reinforcement. Like I'm not out to shame anybody for like, don't eat meat, that's bad, it's not, like what I wanted to do is just get into positive reinforcement. And that was what inspired my move to Tennessee. I got this big, huge property to open up my own animal sanctuary.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
What kind of animals you have there?
So far, we've got goats, pigs, dogs, and cats. But we'll very soon have...
Are they all playing together, like fucking each other?
No, they're all of our males are fixed, and we got them that way when we rescued them. But yeah, we're officially registered as a 501c3 nonprofit.
Amazing. What's it called?
It's called the Radical Ranch.
Love it.
It's technically not a ranch, but that was something I learned after I named it.
But it is radical.
What is it? What makes it a ranch? What makes something a
Well,
ranch?
a ranch is typically like 1,000 acres and all focused on the act
Cattle?
of breeding.
Oh, okay.
Like breed,
Okay.
like you breed cattle, like basically for slaughter. I think on
Right.
a ranch, and that's
Yeah.
clearly not what we do. It's more of a farm.
Yeah.
But Radical Ranch has got a cool ring to it.
Yeah, I love it.
Next comes donkeys and cows.
Oh, sick.
You know,
You're
we have
getting
a pet
donkeys.
donkey.
I read that you have a zonkey, and
Yeah.
and that means a zebra mixed with a donkey.
Yes.
So it's a donkey with stripes.
Yeah, my wife, I don't know where she was. It wasn't Tijuana. It wasn't like a donkey show. But my wife saw a zonkey somewhere, a zebra donkey hybrid, and she was like, "What the hell?" And she went home and just Googled zonkeys. I don't know. I think she just put it in Google, and the first thing that came up was a website that said zebrasareus.com. And it was in Riverside, California. And she picked up the phone and she's like, "Do you guys like sell zonkeys?" And they're like, "Yeah, we just got a little boy, zonkey born." And she's like, "Well, how much?" And she's like, "You give us $5,000, and 6 months from now, once he's weaned from his mother, we'll deliver him to your house, door to door." And we had just moved into this like kind of farmhouse situation.
In Oregon?
It was out here in Ventura County, and then we had we had paddocks and stuff like that. So my wife, I don't even think she ran it by me. She was like, "Okay." She's like, "Babe, I bought a zonkey." But I was fine with it. And then, sure enough, like 6-7 months later, this little adorable half donkey zebra hybrid. My son named him Derek. He showed up at our house, and we've had him ever since. And then we rescued a donkey named Chili Beans, and they're best friends, and they share a stall.
A stall.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing, like my board of directors, my board members, like are very stringent. We cannot exchange money for animals. Like,
Wow.
that's the only thing, you know, like it's got to be rescue.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know that it would be so much of an issue for your zonkey. I think it's more about like we can't provide funds to like
Yeah.
you know systems that
Yeah, I mean, this was not a zonkey rescue. This was a zonkey purchase. Maybe if we could go back in time, I'm not sure we would have done it. I mean, but my wife does ride horses, and she does buy some horses and train horses and sell horses.
And
stuff
again,
like
I'm not here to shame anybody.
Yeah. Too late. Too late. Too late. But yeah, no, I know. We went to Thailand, and we rode some elephants. They have like elephants living in a sanctuary. Found like the most humane place, stuff like that. And then afterwards, I had some friends and some activist friends and stuff like, "You fucking asshole! You can't ride elephants. Like, that's so mean." It's like, well, we ride horses, right?
Right.
Like, humans have been riding horses since like, I don't know, 2000 BC on the Mongolian steppes, and like they've been riding elephants for 1,000 years. I mean, where do you draw the line of like of riding an animal, breeding an animal to be rode? Yeah, of course, there's a lot of elephant abuse, and they were used for logging and like beaten to death and treated really poorly.
Was so bad.
And the circus is the worst.
The worst.
The worst. The whole thing of like.
I mean, an elephant in its natural habitat, I understand, will walk somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 miles in a day.
Yeah.
So it is not like in its DNA to be chained to a post or stuffed into a car on a train.
Or even in a zoo where it can't like roam around. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I feel that was what first got me into animal activism was
working in the circus.
Yeah, well, I was a circus clown, and one day at in clown college, they brought some public relations people from the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Billy Circus, and they said, "Some of you will be working for the Ringling Circus, and what that is going to entail is you showing up in cities like a week or two in advance of the circus to promote the arrival of the circus. And, you know, like while you're doing that, you're going to be interviewed, and some people are going to ask you questions about animals in the circus and if there's animal abuse. When those questions pop up, you shut the fuck up. You have no opinion. You're a fucking clown. Go ahead and fall down. Whatever. You know, and
a lot of people feel that way about actors and podcasters and whatever the fuck you do.
Right.
Stunt comedy performers.
Sure. I'm a stunt comedy guy.
Shut the fuck up. Like,
Right.
shut up and dribble. But in this case, it's shut up the clowns, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But I remember, like, being in clown college, and of course, my memory is probably...
How'd you do on your finals?
did that. Yeah, I was injured for the gala, performance, but that's not why I wasn't selected for the circus.
You were a circus reject. That's low.
Yeah. Being rejected never feels good. But sometimes if you're the one rejecting, it's good, especially if you're rejecting a bad habit. Think you know what I'm talking about, and if you've got a filthy, nasty habit that it's time for you to reject, then let me suggest replacing it with a good habit by trying a fume, the diffusive device which flavors air and helps you replace a bad habit with a good habit. If you want to try it, like hundreds of thousands of people have successfully done, then go to tryfume.com and use the promo code STEVO to get a free gift with your purchase of the Journey Pack, the pack that puts you on the journey to being a happier, healthier you. One more time, go to tryfume.com and use the promo code STEVO for the free gift with the purchase of the Journey Pack. Now let's get back to it. I was. And but my memory might not serve like very well, but that was the gist of it. And I remember thinking, wow, like I just got the sense that there was like some icky, with and so that was I thought, okay. And then I ended up working in another circus where very clearly the circus owners were terrified of their own elephants, and they had they'd done the stampede, the elephants had gone nuts a couple times. They had a tiger that lived in a box, or when it was performing the magic act, they transferred it into a glass box. It just went back and forth between two boxes that were the length of its body.
That's fucked up.
So when I got a platform,
you saw how the sausage was made, so to speak.
For sure. And when I got a platform, I took to it, speaking out against what I felt was really wrong, and it became an issue by issue thing.
And then look at Siegfried and Roy.
Right?
I think they're making a movie about Siegfried and Roy. Did you ever see them?
I didn't see them, but it's interesting because an elephant can handle the weight of a person.
Right.
When we had this animal show, Wild Boys, and we rode ostriches, which I'm not proud of, man. We did a lot of stuff on Wild Boys that I'm very much not proud of. We went to. I rode dolphins in captivity at some SeaWorld type place, we appeared on camera with the orcas with the dorsal fin flopped over, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
But what was the criticism about being in Thailand with the elephants? Is it
this year you're not supposed to ride them because it's a tourist thing and you don't really know how they're treated and stuff, and
right? That makes sense.
So. I mean, these seem to be treated very well. I'm really glad that I got to do it because it's really freaking intense. I mean, you're 20 feet up in the air and, you're holding on for dear life. And this elephant is just they just want to get down to the river and splash around, and then they're eating branches on the way. But they move, man. They just move.
I'm pretty sure I did the same. I might have ridden the same exact elephant on Wild Boys.
Yeah. So apparently that's no bueno. But I don't know. It's tough, you know. I don't know.
It's really tough. Like, you know, say like with everything, like, are we not supposed to like fly on airplanes because it's really, you know,
bad for the environment?
I got into skydiving, you know, because I was training for a big stunt for my stunt comedy, and you know, I like posted some video of skydiving, and like I saw people was like, oh yeah, great. Why don't you just take 10 flights and destroy the world? You know, like when in fact, like you're flying for like a very short amount of time at a fairly low altitude. And you just come right like.
It's not like you're taking a private jet, you know, over to Cannes.
Right.
You know, for the film festival.
But there are problems in just about everything that we do, no matter what it is.
And even like I imagine there's some really extreme vegans, extregans that that don't want you to have, you know, pets of any kind. Right. And they don't say like, you know, master and pet, like your animal companion or whatever, but then like is a dog really supposed to be in an apartment, you know?
Yeah.
And then like cats. Domestic cats are the #1 contributor to the killing of all the bird species. Cats go out. You look at the numbers. It's crazy the amount of birds that cats kill and, you know, and get in the nests and the whole thing. And like, should we even be having cats? If you have them, should you even let them outside because they'll kill birds? I mean, it goes on and on. It's a lot of crazy ethical questions.
I know. It's
the comments are lighting up right now on the YouTube.
Yeah. Absolutely. Without a doubt.
Yeah. I always do that because I've been in this business for a while. So it's kind of like you say things and you're like, you can just picture the, what an asshole. No, you should do
I can't do the comment section, man.
You don't read it at all?
I don't. It's just bad for mental health.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always going to be bad stuff.
When I first got it started as an actor was around the time that message boards started. It was kind of before, it was like 2003, 4, and there were the websites, TV on the net, websites. It wasn't like Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, or even Facebook or even MySpace. But you could comment on it. And when I first started acting on TV and film, and then I would look up the show and the episode I was on, like, what did people say? And like, who's that weird fat pig that played that? And it was just like, oh, you know, Cindy from Iowa. I was like, Cindy from Iowa doesn't like me. And it would just go, because someone like not liking me, like just, it gets me right in here.
Right, it does.
I think that's most people, but for like alcoholics, big time. Yeah, big time. Yeah. Now you say when you started, but you were a theater nerd way before that.
Yeah. I spent the 90s as a theater nerd in New York, doing theater and tours and Shakespeare and regional theater and making like no money at all. I don't think I did the calculation once. I never made as an actor over 17 grand in a year for the first 9 years as an actor.
And that's why you drove a moving truck?
Yeah, I drove a moving van called the Transcendent Moving Company. I took our wedding money. I took $1,200 of our wedding money and bought a cargo van. And then I moved people, like their futons and bookshelves and lamps and stuff in New York.
And you made more than 17 grand a year doing that?
I did, yeah. I could work as much as I wanted and make as much money as I wanted. It was a crazy, like, all I needed to do, put an ad in the Village Voice and staple up a bunch of flyers, and there was no limit to how much work. I could work every day, 8 hours a day, cash off the books. You know, I would charge like $70 an hour and then like $35 an hour for every additional guy. This was in the 90s. It was really good. You know, I got nice piles of cash that got me through until I got theater gigs, and then all of a sudden I get a theater gig and they're like, they're going to pay you $607 a week. And after taxes and commissions, you're going to take home $283. So I had to subsidize my acting career.
You were like classically trained in so many different ways.
I'm so good.
Yeah, like I mean, I didn't even like Bachelor of Drama at what school?
NYU. Yeah, it's not clown college. In some ways, it's kind of a clown college.
Yeah.
The amount of money they charge to. I went to NYU acting, and I got a bachelor's there in acting, and we did like, did Shakespeare and we had a circus class. We did tightrope, trapeze, juggling. We had clown classes too. It was a little bit more in like European clown character stuff. And I always thought of Dwight Schrute as like, he's like a clown type. You could have kind of like the weird uptight clown version of Dwight Schrute. I don't know about like the floppy shoes and the big nose type of clown, but the Pee Wee Herman or Borat type of clown. There's a character there.
Well, I mean, no doubt. Do you? It's weird. The Office is so just iconic and like
it's crazy.
A lot of people get they're like, oh, like I don't want to be known for that anymore. Like that.
Yeah.
Do you feel trapped in Dwight at all ever?
Do I feel trapped in Dwight? That almost as if that's what she said, but it's not quite. So, yeah. Listen, it's a two-headed serpent, right? Like sometimes it's like, oh my God, people shut the fuck up about Dwight. Like that was, first of all, the show ended like 11 years ago, and I started it. My son was born when we were shooting season 1. He's 20. He's almost 21 right now.
Right.
So it's all a very, very long time ago. I played dozens of roles before I played Dwight. I played dozens of roles after I've played Dwight.
Right.
And even while I was playing Dwight, I played other roles. And, but at the same time, like, you can't fight it. This is like, I lucked into one of the most iconic roles on one of the best shows in TV history. I really believe that. And I'm so lucky for it. I mean, God, I paid off my student loans from NYU. I got to buy a house. I got to buy a Zonkey.
Everything Rainn Wilson just described is a lot to be grateful for. But you know what I'm grateful for? Is the health of my dogs. And they're not going to live forever, man. So I want to just squeeze every bit of time I can get. And the way I do that is by feeding my dogs Ollie dog food. This is real, nutrient-dense, like refrigerated, actual food that's super healthy for my dogs. And I believe it's going to make them live a lot longer. It's the only way I've gotten Wendy to eat blueberries. And they, with all the antioxidants, very good for her. So I'm very, very confident in encouraging you guys to try Ollie dog food. And if you do, you got a happiness guarantee with your first box. If you don't like it, if your dog doesn't like it, all your money back. And that is guaranteed. Plus, you get 60% off your welcome kit if you try this subscription. That's 60% off if you go to ollie.com/Stevo. That's OLLIE.com/Stevo. And use the promo code Stevo at checkout to get 60% off your welcome kit with your subscription. And you've got nothing to lose because there's a 100% happiness guarantee with your first box. So if you love your dogs and you want them around longer, try Ollie Dog Food. Ollie.com/Stevo and the promo code Stevo. Now let's ride this officially amazing episode all the way home.
It opened the door to doing movies. Like I still do like appearances at like fan conventions and stuff like that sometimes. And, it's a great way to make some money for Office fans and meet the fans. And, I have a podcast too, and I think a lot of people originally are drawn to that podcast because they're Dwight fans and they've gotten to know me a little bit through Dwight. So, but it's a two-headed sword. I mean, I would like to kind of like, I'm still act. The Code 3 is coming out, and I still do roles
in theaters on
September 12th. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. But I would love opportunities to play other roles. It's kind of like, hey guys, like I did a pretty convincing job playing Dwight Schrute and convincing you all that I was a beat farming paper salesman. Like I could play other roles too, by the way.
Right.
I don't have to just play Dwight. I'd love, I'd love more opportunities, and I do think in some ways it kind of limits you. It's kind of like, it's going to say, I always say, like, it's going to be on my tombstone. It's like the guy who played Dwight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, for sure.
In some ways, it's similar with you with Jackass,
sure.
right? Because you have a comedy career, you sell out comedy clubs, you've done comedy specials.
Right. No one's ever gonna know me for that.
You've written books. You've got your causes now, your ranch and stuff like that.
Right.
But you're always the guy who sucked on the camel's ball with the electrodes in on your gonads or whatever.
And I absolutely.
That's a good prank, by the way.
Sucking
on a camel's ball.
Yeah. I relate to that so intimately, and my position is that if I were to get bent out of shape over never being able to break free from Jackass, then I would be very unhappy in life.
Yeah.
Like I remember,
there's a certain measure of acceptance.
Not a relationship or a friendship that aged very well, but I used to be friendly with Ron Jeremy.
Okay. Wow. That's not where I was expecting. That's not the name I was expecting to come out of your mouth.
Right. I mean, I knew him before I got clean and sober. Not that he was. I don't think he ever even drank. I think it was. But the reason I bring him up, Ron Jeremy, really didn't want to be like. He
known for porn. He wanted real roles?
He wanted to be known for his comedy, for his acting. He really wanted to put some distance between him and the porn. It's like Tony Hawk not wanting to be known as a skateboarder.
It's the first time I've been compared to Ron Jeremy.
I'm not comparing you. There's very, very... I'm just saying, another example, probably a better example, not somebody I know personally, but I understand that Alfonso, I'd say Carlton.
Oh, yeah.
Carlton from The Fresh Prince.
What's his name?
Because I hope this isn't
Siri?
I hope this isn't disparaging or negative, but I understand that it's like not okay to call him Carlton. It's like, like
yeah. Well, it is one of the things that's very annoying to me is when people just call me Dwight, like just like in a store, like, "Hey, Dwight." It's like, wait a minute, I'm in a store. I'm obviously like what?
Right.
Like what? How does your brain work to think that you would call me Dwight? And it's not people being funny. They're not like, "Hey, it's Dwight."
For sure.
They're just, "Oh, hey, Dwight." Like, wait a second. Like, come on. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's so. Your name is Scandinavian. Is that right? That's why Rainn with two N's. Who's that? Have you ever met anybody named Rainn with two N's?
Have you ever met a Scandinavian named Rainn with two N's?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I heard about Norwegian descent. I'm guessing that's where it came from.
This was your research for this podcast. You read my Wikipedia page.
I've read that, and I had a very deep discussion with ChatGPT.
What would you ask? Let me see your phone. What did ChatGPT tell you to ask me?
Okay, let's see here.
I did the same thing.
I've got my own cheat sheet right here.
While you could have been watching my movie.
That comes out when?
September 12th, Code 3.
Yeah. Your Wikipedia, by the way, does list your name as Rainfall.
Heat wave. Yeah. Yeah. No. A couple things. So I do some nonprofit work with an organization called Climate Base Camp. That's a climate change communication company. We try and do funny out of the box kind of videos and activations around climate. And we did this thing called a Arctic Risk Name Changer app. We made an app where you could put in your name and it would randomly generate a name for you that had to do with the perils of losing the Arctic to climate change. So mine was like rainfall, severe weather, drought, Wilson, or something like that. And I changed it on my social media handles. Actually, we had hundreds of thousands of people who engaged with it. It was really cool. It was a great activation. But that's still out there. But then also what I really love is like my fans will change my Wikipedia page in some really delightful ways. For years, it's said that I had an alpaca farm, and someone had just put that on the Wikipedia page, and I'd be asked about it, and then it also says my name is Rainn Dietrich Percival Wilson. Like, there's no Percival has never been.
I think that's endured.
It has endured.
That's still on
That's
there.
been like 10 years. I've been Percival on there, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Do you actually have is it a pot-bellied pig?
Yeah, we have 2 Vietnamese pot-bellied pigs, Snorty and Amy. Yeah.
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah, they're both rescues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bless your heart for having
Yeah.
the animals.
Yeah.
Okay, of the ChatGPT
Yeah, what did it
stuff,
say?
I did like this. You've called fame a kind of spiritual pollution.
I said that?
That's what it says.
Okay.
What did you mean by that?
Well, I want to hear. I want to hear what you have to say around this.
Right. I mean, okay, like there was some stuff, but the notion that fame fundamentally changes people, and I was mulling that, I was chewing on that, thinking, of course, your experience is gonna, form like who you are, like to some degree. Does fame?
Well, let me say, I don't know about changing people. I mean, everything we experience in life changes you in some way. Like you get in a really bad car accident, it changes you. So I was a struggling actor for so long. I became famous pretty much around age 40. So I was older when I got famous, and it'll fuck with you. It'll fuck with your head, especially if you're an addict, an alcoholic, like and you already have like some trauma stuff, you have self-esteem issues, you feel less than a lot. A lot of actors get in the business because essentially they just want attention and to be loved and adored, right?
Big time.
And then all of a sudden you get famous, and then you walk everywhere. You know what this is like. You walk around like, I love you. Oh my God, you're the best. I love you. I love you. You're literally, and you're like, oh, like, and then
Right.
It's really hard to keep that in check. It's really hard to be getting like waves of love and attention and money and jobs when there's something kind of fundamentally broken inside
Right.
of you. And so in that sense, I think it is a kind of a spiritual disease. It certainly was a test for me for many, many years. I feel like I'm so much better at it now, but you just get imbalanced because you're just like, what's real, and some people would say, well, they do love you. They love the character that you played, or the characters that you play, or the stunts that you do, and the comedy that you do, and you worked hard for that, and I have worked hard for that, and
Right.
and this is a payoff. So in some ways, it's great, and I'm certainly thankful for the opportunities, but it can also be really insidious, don't you think?
For sure, especially when you take into it, like, I remember like an experience coming through the airport. There was like one person like, oh my God, dude, I love so much, like something that you just did. Like, oh man, thanks so much. Like, that means the world to me. And then like a moment later, I get to the TSA, and the TSA person's like, man, what happened to you, dude? I haven't seen you in anything for like forever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, like, and neither of those two things matter. And that's the thing that's so
Yeah.
hard
But
for us
that's
to...
the spiritual test right
Right.
there. Like,
Yeah.
accolades and love is false, and criticism and kind of,
Right.
is also false, because the ego state and the bonding with the ego it's all an illusion,
Right. And I I've always said that when I see negative comments about me, they really, really affect me when I agree with them. Like I've had a lot of experience with that. Like, I feel like I've gone through some pretty major growing pains over the last few years particularly during the pandemic. Like I couldn't be on tour, so I took to like effectively monetizing my social media following by getting really like sophisticated with my merchandising operation, and everything turned into a promotion on my platforms. And it turned into quite a lot of negative feedback, with which I was inclined to agree, that I had become a shill, that Steve-O used to be addicted to drugs, now he's addicted to money, and
Whoa.
and I just felt like oh, I did go overboard with all that, and I needed to take a step back.
That's amazing you can admit that. How did you kind of come around on that?
I just saw, I mean, you can ask Vinny. Vinny's right there by my side the entire time. I was like, dude, like, I'm not making everything a promotion anymore. Like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it was tough for a while because, like, you have so many people that you have to pay. You have this really big business, and it was driving him fucking nuts.
There's so much pressure on me because there are many people who I'm their livelihood.
Yeah.
Fire Vinny.
Right. Well, no, Vinny was not an issue at all. But like there were, and I had my dad, who is like a successful businessman, and like,
Oh, that's right.
yeah, my dad. So
I'd
my dad's
forgotten
like
that.
very, very capitalistic, very corporate, like,
Yeah.
and like there's kind of a function of making dad proud, like, oh, dad, look what I earned, And there's like just all the.
What was your dad's opinion on the whole promotion thing, though? Did he want you to continue promoting, or did he agree with kind of falling back?
I think that he understood. Because
Yeah.
he got to a point where like promoting just wasn't effective anymore, and it was bringing about like this harsh criticism.
Yeah.
So like what I think it's important is not to kind of bend to the will to everything, but like let that do what my gut agrees with that, then I got to do something about it. And and I did. And in the midst of that kind of difficult time that I went through, I brought it up with our Jackass director Jeff Tremaine and Johnny Knoxville, and Tremaine said, "Dude, don't worry about what people say. A pat on the back is just a foot and a half above a kick in the ass."
That's pretty wise words right there.
Yeah, he attributed
Who
some
would have thought
wrestling.
the director of Jackass would bring such wisdom to the equation?
Right.
What was Johnny's take on it?
He said, like, you just can't, you gotta, it'd be basically the same thing. If we let everything that someone says about us bother us. But then, like...
But I love what you said about the airport. I mean, that's really sticking with me about, like, the biggest spiritual battle we all fight is against our own ego. And even in Islam, in the Quran, it's the greater jihad is the war you have with yourself and with your own ego. People hear the word jihad and they're like, war and stuff like that. That's the lesser jihad if Islam is being attacked. But the greater jihad, our life struggle is against our ego that keeps insisting, like, I'm important, I'm here, I want more. It's never quite satisfied. And I've talked about this on other podcasts and stuff, but even when I was at the height of fame on The Office and doing movies every summer while we're shooting The Office, winning Emmys, and I didn't win any, but The Office did.
Nominated 3 times.
Thank you, ChatGPT. But even then, like, it was never enough. Like, it wasn't enough. Like, they're only going to pay me X amount of money, like, and I'm getting, this money here, and that's not enough. And how come I'm not getting offered this? And what,
Right.
it was this constant, struggle. And to hear, like, someone saying at an airport, "You're amazing, I love you," and you can honor them, say thank you, God bless you, and someone else like, "I haven't seen you working in 10 years. It's like, thank you, bless you. Like, let those things wash over us like waves, and we're just here, and we're on our mission, and we're telling stories, and we're
Right.
trying to cheer people up and make good content and have families, and we're doing our best, and just hold to that." But it took me a while to kind of get to that place.
Yeah, man. I had like in this whole thing with my struggles, like podcasting. Like you have a podcast.
Yeah.
And presumably you have podcast sponsors. You do ad reads for them. Mm-hmm. I had the opportunity to have Mark Wahlberg as a guest on the podcast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and at the time,
he doesn't do many podcasts.
I know. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah. I was, and I've told this story, so let me not belabor it, but I was telling Mark Wahlberg how, like, when I go through challenging times, like, it always, like, the one thing that helps is let me just focus on where's my faith in this, like my relationship with my higher power. I got to put that first. And I was really, really, feeling strongly about that. And then, the podcast goes out. And I remember I was hiking through the state park with my dog, and it hit me like, oh my God. Like, I don't need to read the comments on this one. I went from talking about how important my faith is to me and had the audacity to cut from that conversation to an ad read for gambling. and I was like
a sports betting kind of thing?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Which I had justified, I'd rationalized, I'd got into it because I'm a big fan of the UFC fights.
Okay.
And so it was always like connected to promoting like a big pay-per-view UFC event that I was legitimately excited to watch. And so it was like, oh, I'm going to pick who I think is going to win, and it's get paid by the gambling. But I was just, I couldn't, and I called up my podcast guy. I was like, dude, I can't do the gambling anymore, and I haven't done it since.
Oh, you haven't done DraftKings since?
Not one fucking time, man. I feel better for having done that. And ChatGPT asked me to suggested that I ask you about your spirituality when it conflicts with your showbiz.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a tough one.
Were there things that you declined to do in your career because you felt that it wasn't aligned with your spirituality?
Yeah, there have been roles that I've turned down. I remember there was a show, this was right before The Office, but I was starting to kind of get some heat as an actor. And there was a show where they wanted me to play like the second lead, but he was just always getting stoned and always getting laid and just like a party dude. And that's where the comedy came from. He's like always like this kind of weird looking dude, but he was always waking up with a different girl and like waking and baking and like, and I was just like, I can't, even though it was a lot of money, like I can't play that role for in success 5, 6, 7 years. I just can't, I don't want to be known for that. Now, that being said, I went on the MTV Music Awards naked except for a teddy bear strapped to my dick and out with Megan Fox.
Oh, wow.
Like I've done stupid, humiliating things. I look back on it like, why didn't I say no to that? Like, why did I wear a teddy bear on my penis?
Did you come up with that, or did somebody pitch that to you?
They pitched it to me, like, what about you and Megan Fox? And then you've got you're naked except for a teddy bear. And for some reason, I was like, that's funny.
Right. Looking back on it now, aren't you glad that you're able to say that on a podcast? Like, you shouldn't regret that.
I still regret it.
I wouldn't regret that.
Right.
But it was, I mean, I almost instantly regretted it as soon as I did it. I'm like, oh, Rainn, come on, get real. So, I mean, there's other, I was, I did this role in My Super Ex-Girlfriend. It's a movie that no one saw with Uma Thurman and Luke Wilson back in the day. And, I played just a kind of a gross woman-hating character. And, I kind of thought, well, it's a comedy, it's a good comedy ultimately with a good message, and I'm a part of it, and that's fine. And I'm supporting my family. I mean, there's lots of ways to justify it, but it's a tough thing to walk. But yeah, I don't do pod ads or booze ads or gambling ads, on the podcast. And
what do you mean pod ads?
pot.
Oh,
Weed.
pot.
Weed,
Yeah, okay,
stuff.
good.
Not even like CBD oil, though, which is fine, but there was something else that was some weed
Right,
thing,
right.
maybe weed delivery app or something. I don't know.
It's interesting because whenever like alcohol comes up, it's the thing like, oh, I'm a sober guy. Like, I'm not mad at alcohol. Like I always say, like,
I'm a little mad at alcohol.
okay.
No,
Well,
I remember us having a conversation about this back in the day. I don't want to interrupt you because I want to hear it, but I feel a little differently than you around that.
Okay, but no, when somebody, you're at dinner with somebody and they say,
Yeah.
hey, like, would it be offensive to you if I were to drink?
Yeah, no problem at all.
Right.
No problem.
for
at all.
sure.
Like, I always say, hey, like what's in your glass isn't entering my body. As opposed to if they were going to light up a joint, then I'm breathing it in. Like, I don't want to breathe it in. The secondhand smoke is an issue for me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be around smoking cigarettes. But my attitude with alcohol in that kind of a context, I say, hey, I appreciate you being considerate. I'm grateful that you asked. But I'm just like, I think of it like if I were diabetic, then like I wouldn't care if you
Had an ice cream.
I just
Yeah.
can't have it.
Right.
So that's
But but here's where we differ, I think, a little bit.
and I've never promoted alcohol.
Sure.
Like, so, I mean, I don't remember a time when I've promoted alcohol and sobriety. So,
But don't you think, too, like, on just taking it, I agree with you on all of what you just said, but then also taking like a 20,000-foot view of alcohol in contemporary American society or European society, all the societies. Like, you take a look at it, the number of wife beatings it's caused,
100%.
boat
Yeah,
accidents,
absolutely.
car accidents, drunk driving.
For sure.
And now, over the last 5 years, the evidence, the hard data around how bad alcohol is for your health, like physical health, increases strokes, increases heart disease.
Okay, you're right.
Yet then it's like, you look at it, it's like, I don't want to be a prude or anything, and people can choose whatever they want, but it's a pretty destructive chemical by and large. And also, like, why is everyone medicating themselves all the fucking time? Like, what is it about? And I have nothing against people smoking some pot every once in a while, but like, pot's gotten a little out of control. Someone told me that pot in the 70s had 3% THC, and now it has 40 to 60% THC. It's a totally different drug. And like, why is everyone? And this was the same with me when I was using and drinking. I was just medicating anxiety. I just didn't want to deal with myself and my feelings. So anything to escape, medicate, soothe, and then it became a problem. It became a crutch. I couldn't get through the day without medicating myself somehow. And aren't we doing that culturally? Maybe we just need to, like, what if we just took 2026 off from all drugs and just like let's look at our shit. Why do we why is every social occasion have to be fueled by edibles and scotch or whatever?
I'm with you 100%. I'm mad at alcohol too.
But you know what I mean? Like, in theory, I'm mad at it. I'm not to anyone who choose, and I have so many of my friends drink, and it's totally fine. I'm never going to lecture them. But when you really look at it,
I agree. I watch a lot of true crime content, and like murders, like all that, like not a lot of that stuff's going down without some booze in the mix.
Yeah.
What kind of car are you driving these days? I remember your Chevy Volt.
Wow.
I ended up getting one, and I loved it.
Yeah, I've gone through a lot of electric cars, and now I'm a Ford Lightning, the electric Ford 150. It's great.
Did you do a Tesla at any point?
I had Tesla for many years. Yeah. And then I got pissed at Elon, and I got rid of my Tesla.
It's an interesting situation.
Yeah.
I'm still driving a Tesla.
It's a great car, though. You can't deny it.
It really is.
And the full self-drive, Vinny taught me how to use the full self-driving.
I never figured that out.
Now it's gotten to the point where, like, it doesn't even ask you to touch the wheel anymore. The new update, like...
Well, right. You were with me in Tennessee, and it was at that point.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm going to agree to pay $100 per month to try it, and I'm just going to have my finger on the cancel button. And I was like, okay.
I just started paying for it again too. Because the summons too, it could just come pick you up too.
It's
like,
amazing. Does
it's
your
the sickest
Ford
ever.
Lightning
It doesn't
drive
come
itself?
pick me. It does not do that.
Yeah,
no.
I'll leave the gym and I'll just hit the button. And the car will just come pick me up.
It has a really good, not I wouldn't say self-driving, but whatever that is, where you don't have to.
Cruise control.
Yeah, cruise control,
yeah.
and and it steers itself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The only thing about the Ford is it's a big ass truck. That would be great for you in Tennessee. So driving around LA, sometimes it's a pain because it's just so big. Driving down Fountain, like how do you get down Fountain? But the new Silverado has like 420 miles on a charge. It's like one of the longest. That would be great for you for Tennessee.
I love it.
That would be sick.
Talk to me about the Meg.
Okay.
Like, is that the Meg? Like,
Are you excited to ask me this question? Or you feel
I
like
am.
okay?
I remember it. Like the Meg was like Sharknado-esque. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's a little better than that, but yeah. Yeah. That's a little better than Sharknado.
Yeah.
That's what they said on it. The Meg, a little better than Sharknado. Yeah.
I mean, how did that movie perform? Like
It made like $1 billion.
Did it great?
Yeah, but I got eaten in the first one. Spoiler alert. So I wasn't in the second one, so I didn't make. But I had some other friends that didn't get eaten, and like Paige Kennedy, and he got a nice paycheck to do the Meg 2. Not as many people saw the Meg 2.
Well, they shouldn't have got you eaten.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Okay, I'm just looking at my cheat sheet here.
The Meg 2 was. I always want to say one last thing. That's one of the best jobs I ever had. It was like 3.5 months in New Zealand.
Oh wow!
And an amazing ensemble. It was so much fun to shoot, and it was one of those that's one of those things. It's kind of like Dwight allowed me to do the Meg.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful. I got 3.5 months in New Zealand, which is an awesome place. Have you been to New Zealand?
I've been there numerous times.
Oh my God.
I absolutely love it.
It's just paradise. And then to get paid to be there too, and is pretty sweet.
I've never gone there for free.
Yeah.
Okay. So you started your Sound Boom YouTube channel 2008 and sold it in 2016. Is that right?
You got so much wrong about that. I don't know how to process this question.
Okay.
Can I give you shit about this?
Please do.
You're the worst podcast host.
I love it.
Tell him something he doesn't know.
He has like a matchbook with questions that he cribbed from ChatGPT.
Well, no, this was this I believe was Wikipedia.
So
give me
I had two companies, both with the word soul in it. I had this company called Soul Pancake that was a digital media company and YouTube channel. We started that in 2009 and we sold it in like 2018 or something like that to Participant Media.
Yeah.
So that was cool that we were able to make some really great content, and we made inspiring, uplifting content in digital media space, in branded content space. We sold that, which was great. And then a few years later, I started Soul Boom, which is based on a book I wrote, Soul Boom, and that's the podcast, and it has to do with spirituality. I'd love to have you on it, man.
I would love it.
I'd love to. You game to talk about spirituality and
Big
spiritual
time.
journeys?
For sure.
I would love to have you on it. And you too. Do you guys come as a package?
Wait, I mean, dude, this is my guy. Vinny's
I'm
my
down.
guy.
Package deal.
Steve-O and Vinny?
Yeah.
We'll get
Yeah.
together?
Yeah.
I love it. And so, so that's been this, social media and podcast kind of based on ideas from the book and stuff like that. So Soul Boom is a kind of a separate thing than Soul Pancake, but there is a little bit of a relationship. Yeah.
What I was intrigued by is that just getting on YouTube in 2008 is so wildly ahead of the.
Yeah.
I'm an early adopter for having started YouTube in 2013.
Yeah.
And and then now I saw some kind of news that most of your favorite YouTube channels are owned by private equity. That's how that is some kind of a headline. So it's like a thing a current trend now is for people to build up a YouTube channel and then sell it.
Oh, wow.
So I thought, wow, for you to have started a YouTube channel in 2008 and then sold it,
Yeah.
and it like
we started Soul Pancake in 2008. I'm trying to remember when we started our channel. It might have been 10 or 11. So
Okay.
the channel, I think, was
Right.
a little bit later.
right.
but
But
yeah,
people are
it was
selling.
early.
People are selling their YouTube channels now, and you are wildly ahead of the curve with that.
Yeah. We sold it to a great entertainment company called Participant Media. They don't really function anymore. And it was founded by this billionaire, Jeff Skoll. But they made a lot of the great movies. They made An Inconvenient Truth with Al Gore.
Ooh.
They made Lincoln, Spielberg's Lincoln. They did, was it Moonlight? There was a bunch of other Oscar-winning Spotlight movies that they did. So we were kind of a social do-good, feel-good YouTube and media presence. And so we got to be. It was a good sale. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to like just a private equity that's just going to try and
Right.
make cash off of it. But I don't fault anyone for doing that. I mean, that's kind of what people do these days. When you start a business, you start your corn chip company, and you're hoping to get bought out by Frito-Lay after 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's kind of how.
Yeah, big time. There's no I was, my reaction was wow, way to be ahead of the curve.
Yeah. How is your YouTube channel doing? Do you do other stuff besides a podcast on it, or?
Yeah, I do, and I've just been I'll go through spurts of real consistency, and then I won't, and then I will. I'm building up for a new spurt.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
What did do you do comedy specials on there? Do you?
I can't because my comedy specials have become this multimedia thing that's super filthy.
What does that mean?
It means that I go out of my way to be inappropriate, with nudity.
Oh, super
and,
filthy.
Yeah.
And do you sell those to your fans, like a lot of comics are doing these days?
My last two specials, I put behind a paywall.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll do that again. Mm-hmm. I think because now I've just figured out how to just host it on my website. I've got my
You still have a website? That's a thing?
I do.
Wow.
You'd be proud of me because my last comedy special that I put out, the closing scene.
Wait, someone's knocking on the door of the van.
Yeah.
Don't come a knocking when the van's a rocking.
We're wrapping up right now. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
That was the universe thing. Steve-O, shut up about jacking off in an airplane. I simultaneously ejaculated as I had left an airplane, skydiving with another man strapped to my back. And I was naked.
You were naked, stroking, ejaculating, jumping.
Yeah.
With a man behind you.
Strapped to my back. Yeah, the tandem guy. I called it skyjacking.
That's skyjacking.
Yeah.
Is that in your comedy special?
It was, yeah. So yeah, that qualifies my last comedy special as officially XXX rated. And it streams completely for free with no paywall and no ads at steve-o.com. Right on the front page. All you got to do is click I'm over 18.
I am totally not watching that.
Good.
Are we getting booted out of the parking lot?
Yeah.
What did they say?
2-hour parking.
2-hour parking. All right.
So they kept
They were
track.
keeping an eye on me. Yeah. I mean,
It's
it's kind of hard to
amazing.
miss. We look like a meth lab.
Yeah, a little bit. There's a little Breaking Bad
Yeah.
vibe
Right.
going on
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, dude. I love you.
You got anything else on your cheat sheet?
I just
Your chat GP cheat sheet?
I was quite impressed by the amount of high level voice work you've done.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be curious on a pie chart.
Do you ever do that? You have a distinctive voice. You ever do
Yeah.
cartoon voices or anything?
I've done a lot of little low level stuff.
Uh-huh.
little bit parts and super random things. And there is a YouTube video to be made of all of my my voice work career to show like the different.
Yeah.
I just, distinct, but not a lot of diversity.
Okay.
I think what makes a successful voice actor is when they can, when they can sort of
suit it to the yeah.
like old Hank Azaria can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
On a pie chart for your television and film, like your overall earnings, like voice work would be a pretty substantial slice of the pie, huh?
Not so much. I mean, I've done a bunch of animated films and then some TV and stuff like that. But no, I'd put it 10 or 20% as voice work. Yeah.
Okay.
More is acting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
okay, pie chart. Serious acting versus like silly comedy.
serious acting, like 20%. But there's a couple pieces in there that, I have this like you said, like there's a YouTube video to me. One of the things I was going to do on my like Instagram is like a tour, like Rainn Wilson movies that no one ever saw. Cause I've done like 10 or 15 films that I was like really proud of. I'm like, oh, it's going to break through, and no one saw it. Just crickets.
Yeah.
And, there was one, did you ever see Hesher? Did you?
Ooh, wow, that sounds like a heavy metal Hesher.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and it's with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Natalie Portman, and I had a lead role in it. It was a dramatic role, and it's a really magnificent, fucked up film. And I was like, oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Natalie Portman, this is like a kick-ass film that's soundtrack by Metallica.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? No one saw it. And that was like 10 years ago. I was like, wah, wah. But I do want to do a thing of like...
I need to check that out.
Rainn Wilson films that no one ever saw, because there's a lot out there, and some of them are dramas. So
I made one called My Humiliating Acting Career. Featuring every movie that I was in other than Jackass, which nobody knows about. It was a fun, hilarious video.
that's great.
Yeah. But dude, so is there anything that we can get the word out about? Like maybe you've got any projects coming up?
I don't think there's anything.
There's one maybe like
No.
any
Nothing. I got nothing.
Yeah. What about Code 3?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there's a movie coming out September 12th, Code 3.
Yeah.
I hope you guys will go see it on opening night.
This is going to be a wide theatrical release.
Is this going to come out before September 12th?
I would love for this to come out next. Is that cool?
Steve, I love you, man. It's so good to see you again. It's been a long time, man.
It has, man.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, brother.
Thanks, man.
So, let me hear it. Do you guys agree with Paul Brisky and myself that was officially the greatest episode we've recorded in a while? I mean, I don't know. You stuck around to the end, and that means I love you so much. Let me tell you what's up with me real quick. I'm outside a comedy club in California, Pasadena, the Ice House, where I taped, we big shoot. It cost over $70,000 to shoot the opening sequence for my Crash and Burn tour. And it was a big gamble. It's already in the show. I'm like, Paul Brisky, show him. Like, I told him, Paul, this needs to be in the show, like, the day after filming it. And it was. And then a better version of the show. Better version tonight. And we got Mr. Johnny Knoxville in the house tonight to see the whole show and how many times he both appears in it and is mentioned in it. Like, I told him, dude, you're all over the show, dude. You gotta tell me what you think. So the pressure's on tonight. I'm gonna get to it. I love you. Thanks so much.